Oh my goodness. Why is that my reaction as of right now? It's not because the internet computer is below $3. It's actually about something else. Even though it's not doing the best as of right now, did you know that the founder of Dfinity, whose name is Dominic Williams, he just said that the upcoming DEX that Dfinity is working on, it could very well work with something called Intense. Why is this a big deal? This could be so massive because if we think about it, near Intense, that is literally one of the most popular things as of right now when it comes to this space. Now, I'll get into this in today's video, and I'll talk about the impact of what I think this could do for the internet computer, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. So, to just give a background story, we know that Dfinity is planning to launch a DEX called Multi-DEX. But the thing is, someone named Aaron Sanchez asked, are you going to add something like Near Intense? Now, Dominic Williams went ahead and said, could work with Intense. This is so massive because we got to think about this. If we think about a DEX in a traditional sense, like let's say I take a look at something like Pancake or Uni or something like that, it's a little bit more manual, right? I have to kind of, click all these buttons and stuff like that, and then I have to try to swap this with that. It's just a little bit more manual in terms of the process. But what Near Intense does is that basically I can instruct the AI, so to speak, and it just kind of finds the best possible route for me to swap whatever I want to swap. So here's the thing. Let's say I want to swap this for this. I don't have to do it manually. I don't have to, try to look for this pool or whatever. I don't have to do that. I can just instruct my intent, if you catch what I mean, right? No pun intended, to Near Intense, and it just kind of tries to do it for me. Isn't that pretty impressive? So then I'm like, swap this for this, and the AI just kind of figures it all out. It figures out the best route, the best path, and all this. And then that way, it just makes it less prone for me to make mistakes. So that's the special thing about it. And if multi-DEX could work with Near Intense, it would be a game changer in my opinion, just because Near Intense is really popular as of right now. Again, it's literally one of the most popular things as of right now when it comes to the space. And again, Near Intense is one of the flagship products of the Near protocol. Keep in mind, Near Intense, not too long ago, it was reported that the all-time volume was over $20 billion. Not to mention, its 7-day volume, I would say around 2 weeks ago, it was around $800 million. So let's just let this sink in. If let's say multi-DEX, the upcoming DEX for Dfinity, could work with that, couldn't that be so legendary? So again, that's why I'm not so concerned about seeing the internet computer as of right now at around $2.20. This is all background noise to me anyways. Multi-DEX hasn't even launched yet. And what, I'm going to be suddenly worried that, oh, the internet computer is below $3 and all this? Again, in due time, eventually, if let's say the market were to hypothetically pick up, all this, short-term movements, it wouldn't really matter because, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but personally for me, because my mindset is for the long term, this is all just background noise to me. What usually stays in the long term is good fundamentals and good products. And as long as Dfinity is continuing to do their work in regards to launching new products and actually improving the products that they already have. Like for instance, Caffeine AI, we take a look at OEC version 2, we take a look at them working on cloud engines. As long as they keep improving on that, and then let's say focus on launching new things, like let's say in the case of multi-DEX, I could care less about what happens in 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and all this. This is all background noise to me anyways. In the very short to medium term, things are just going to be very volatile. I can't control any of that. But what usually stays in the long term? It's good fundamentals. And Dfinity, they're literally focusing on the fundamentals. So this is why my mindset isn't for the short term. I am not a trader. That's not what I do. Personally, for me, I'm just someone who holds, waits, and that's it. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but that is just personally what I'm doing. And when I see Dfinity planning to launch something like multi-DEX and then potentially, maybe, having something like that be able to work with Near Intense, could you imagine how legendary that could be? This is the type of stuff that they're doing. Now, here's the thing. People like to say, oh, who cares about the Near protocol? Well, here's the thing. The reason why multi-DEX being able to maybe work with Near Intense is so special is because the Near protocol, keep in mind, it's so well known when it comes to AI to the point where Near makes up the largest percentage in Grayscale's decentralized AI fund. I'm not joking. It actually allegedly makes up a larger percentage than BitTensor's native token called Tau, again in Grayscale's decentralized AI fund. So let's just let that sink in. And now that, of course, is for when the last time I checked it, right? But I'm just saying, that's pretty impressive stuff right there. We got to consider Grayscale. In terms of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, keep in mind, there's over 100,000 Bitcoin when it comes to that. I think if I consider all of that, it's no surprise why I'm so excited to maybe see multi-dex be able to, who knows, connect with near intents moving forward. I mean, again, why wouldn't I be impressed? And if anything, I feel like their computer has improved by quite a lot, yet it's still below $3. You know, if maybe their computer could just make it back to around $9, which we saw in November of last year, maybe, right? That's the key word, maybe. We're around 4 times lower than that as of right now. Again, we're around 4 times lower, which is a little bit ridiculous just because the intercomputer has improved by quite a lot. And again, we haven't even seen the launch of the multi-dex yet, or multi-dex, I should say. This is a pretty amazing thing for me to just see a project improving by so much and yet being so low. I don't know if I'd complain about that actually, because my mindset is hypothetically dollar cost averaging. And if I think about it logically as well, the fact that Dominic Williams, who again is the founder of Dfinity, the fact that he's even thinking about, you know, maybe connecting multi-dex with near intents, or being able to, who knows, we'll wait and see. That right there shows his foresight, right? Because a lot of other founders out there, a lot of other people, maybe for other projects, they don't really think about this type of stuff. They're just focused on launching it for hype or attention. But Dominic Williams has taken it to a whole different level. He's taken it to a point where it's not all just about for show. It's not all just about for the flash and the excitement. That's not the case. He's actually focused on, you know what? Sure, we're launching maybe multi-dex hopefully soon, but then at the same time, we're also thinking about ways on how to connect it to other things. Like for instance, in the case of near intents and all this. This is the type of stuff they're doing, which is a little bit surprising to me, right? Because again, a lot of people like to say, oh, you know, they're not treating it seriously. Who cares about multi-dex? But apparently they're putting a lot of serious effort towards that. So I think, again, this goes far beyond the price, in my opinion, because the price could change. I've never seen a permanent bear market ever when it comes to this space. And the thing is, the intercomputer at $9 is not a groundbreaking achievement by any means. Does anyone think, literally, that November of 2025, was that a good time for altcoins? It was not, actually. That's the thing. And yet, we're around 4 times lower than November of last year, which is a little bit ridiculous because we're not even a year removed from that. And also on top of that, that wasn't even a particularly good time for altcoins either. That's the thing. You know, a lot of people thought $9 was a little bit bearish when it comes to the intercomputer, just because it was almost at $19 the year before that, you know, in 2024, right? So when it comes to this, I'm very surprised seeing how Dominic Williams is even thinking about maybe multi-dex being able to connect with near intents. Wow, a big thumbs up for me. And the reason why I even want to make this video, and the reason why I am even so surprised at that, is because I'm also a fan of near. So when I saw that, I was like, wait, hold up. Am I seeing this properly? Am I seeing this correctly? Dominic Williams just said that it could work with intents. So if it could, that means maybe, right? And if maybe, that means they're at least thinking about it. Because if he wasn't thinking about this, he'd probably say, oh, what is that? Or, you know, it's not important. Or maybe he'll just say, oh, no, we're not going to do that. He could easily say all this, but he said could with intents. That's the thing. And of course, he's referring to near intents. And again, this was a question asked by Aaron Sanchez. So this right here is really impressive and a very good question, actually, right? Because a lot of people probably didn't think about asking that, but Aaron, he did think about asking it. So that's very impressive stuff. And the fact that Dominic Williams even responded to that showcases that it probably caught his attention. And he was probably like, wait, hold up. Could work with that. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video on that. Sure, the intercomputer is below $3, but it is what it is. I'm going to still be waiting. I'm going to still be holding. And if anything, if something improved, yet it became lower in terms of the price charts, I don't know why I'd complain. But personally speaking, just seeing that right there, wow, I was pretty surprised, which was why my reaction was like, oh my goodness. You know, that was my initial reaction. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm willing to wait for years anyways, so these short-term price movements, they don't really phase me. But if anything, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, and I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward when it comes to this. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day.